Hi everybody, welcome to Chana Talks TV, live TV. I am Chana Gilman, your relationship mastery mentor. Oh gosh, I'm just in such an excited mood today. I just love the things I'm learning and the things I'm talking about. By the way, a few housekeeping things. I did a video for my group this morning and it cut off because the phone got hot. So if that happens, I will come back on. Stay with me. Number two, in case I've been asked why am I always on this side of the screen, because on my YouTube videos I post my picture up here for people to click and subscribe. So there's a method to all of my madness. Today I want to talk about worry. I hear from so many women about anxiety. And I work with a lot of women who for whatever reason are single and living alone, and there's anxiety in families for any numbers of reasons, which are really not important. So I have a few questions for you. The first question I want to ask you is, who's your best friend? You thinking about that? Who's your best friend? You know what your answer should be? You. Have you ever thought about becoming your own best friend? That would help so much in cutting negativity gremlins, those termites that eat at us. You would never speak to your best friend the way you speak to yourself with negative talk, right? Self-negative talk. So work on liking you more. It's really a wonderful thing. You know what it does? Here's what all of my coaching does for my clients. And what happened to me in my life over 10 years of learning all this stuff. My quality of life is completely different without any externals changing in my life. I love me and my life today. And I can go through the whole saga way of looking at my life. You've all heard it. I'm not doing that again. I don't have that much time today. Anyway, I want to talk about worry. Have you ever thought about worry and anxiety? Now, again, I don't want to get in more trouble this week. I'm talking about the kind of anxiety and worry that we all have, the garden variety of anxiety. I'm not talking medications and, all of that. But for those of us who have that constant nagging and worrying and that anxious feeling, and how do we get rid of it, and we get hijacked by it just boom, throughout the day. So what is worry? Worry is a thought pattern. Yes, it's a thought pattern that most of us never think about. And we all worry about something. But here's the key. Our worry and our anxiety are rarely ever connected to anything in my here and now. It's true. So what does that mean? Let's say you've studied and you've gotten your master's in a field, or you're a very good lawyer and you've won 13 out of the last 19 cases you've had. And in any role, you're tapped for a job and you're starting this new job. Now you've got all the experience in the world. They've come after you. On the day or the night before that new job, you're worried. What are you worried about? You've proven your success over and over, so it's really not connected to the fact that you have a new job, right? I was a public speaker for 20 years. Why was I so scared to come and talk on video and then do video live, which I was sick to my stomach for 2 days before I hit the live button? So what's that about, right? So it's rarely connected to the here and now, and it's been imposed on us, right? We've talked about that when we're born, we are all born with spiritually pure DNA. We all come out with a clean slate. But what happens in infancy and in usually early childhood, and very often if you were like I was in the 50s, our mothers were put to sleep. And it wasn't until the 80s that childbirth was stopped being seen as a medical procedure. So there are studies that show my mother was asleep. She didn't push. She didn't help me come out. I struggled with that. I faced struggle before I even got here, right? All of that imprints us. So are you living a life of constant struggle and pushing and efforting? And I did, until I started doing what I'm teaching you. So what happens is the worry, the anxieties are usually imposed on us, right, in the infancy and in the childhood. And they become our coping. That's how we're going to cope now. My mother's insecurities, whatever your mother's was, we cope in childhood in black and white. We don't have grays of complexity. So now that's what we live out in our life. And these become habitual patterns of thought. Do you get that? Your anxiety has nothing to do with this new job today. It's a habitual pattern of thought for most of your life. Now, in anything you want to change, its success is going to be as proportional as how many years you've been living with the need to change it. If we're in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and even older, and our constant anxiety and worry of thought has been with us all those years, it's not going to change overnight. But the good news is it can be changed. Why? Because this, again, we're born with a clean, I'm so excited by this message. We're born with a clean slate. Things were put into us that we absorbed in our subconscious paradigms. Anything that is put in can be taken out. That's the news. That's a fact. That's a law. What goes up comes down. Inside, outside. What goes in can be taken out. Is it work? Of course it's work. Is it worth the effort? Of course it's worth the effort. So worry and anxiety are a condition that has been overlaid on us through the repetitivity of those thoughts. It just seems to get worse as I get older because it's more enforced, reinforced, reinforced. Isn't this good news? Don't you love knowing this? I did. I love it. So what's the good news is that we can heal our thought patterns. Now, anxiety usually attacks on two levels, physically and mentally. How does it attack physically? The worst case scenarios, which I don't even want to go in, but it's high blood pressure and heart issues. And those you can well imagine play out in different ways. I'm not going there. But when it attacks us mentally, and you know, lower levels of anxiety will give back problems and whatever issues your issues are from your stress. Now, when it attacks us mentally, it, what is the word? Immobilizes us emotionally. We feel that we're crippled emotionally. And that is what has created, the older you are, the defeatist attitude. Why bother? It's not worth it. I've tried so hard. And, you know, who are the 5 people closest to you? They're living out, hi Ayala, they're living out the same thing you are. So of course the people closest to you are going to say, what do you need it for? What are you trying it for? You've spent so much money to get to do it different, yada, yada, yada. Change who you hang out with. That's why I am so impressed by the women that join my group, and boy, is it growing. It is so wonderful. I applaud every one of them. So the good news is it can all be fixed. All thought patterns are subconscious paradigms. They can be fixed. Don't you love knowing that? I know I'm not alone here. Please leave me a comment whenever you watch this that you think this is incredibly good news. Now, here's the kicker, people. Beautiful women. You have 2 choices. Excuses. I've tried it before. Hannah's just another, you know, positive thinker. I've tried positive thinkers. I've done affirmations. You know, I even know about the law of attraction. It doesn't work. You can have excuses and stay where you're at. That's fine. Just be honest and call them excuses. Or you can want results. In order for anything to change, you have to change. What do we work on changing? Our attitudes and our subconscious paradigm ways of thinking, which have created the anxiety and the worry that you've lived out habitually for however old you are. It can be fixed. I can help you fix it. Yes, I can. You know, I think his name was Roger Madden, something Roger. For years, nobody could run a 1 minute mile, or a 4 minute mile, I think it is. Until one day he did it, and then all of a sudden, people were running the 4 minute mile. So here's the good news. What I teach works. Why do I know it? Because it worked for me. And I know if it works for one, it can work for many. I help my clients. I can show you how to live with a better quality of life, even if nothing changes in your life. It's true. I woke up this morning so excited to get out of bed. And it's just a cool thing. So, here's what I want to say. It can be fixed. It's not chronic unless you choose to stay there. You see, there's two kinds of pain in life. The pain of regret by not changing anything, or the pain of discipline when you want new results. Those are your choices of pain for the areas I'm talking about. Choose discipline and go for it, ladies, because it's so life-changing. It's so life-changing. Roger Banner, yes, I can't read it. Bannister, Roger Bannister ran the 4 minute mile. Thank you, Ayala. You know how many people are grateful for him today that are now, you know, Olympic champions because he broke that barrier? I can help you. Join my group, book a free breakthrough call with me, share these videos on YouTube for anyone not on social media. My picture pops up here. They can click it and subscribe. I'm just so glad that whoever's watching these are part of my conversation. There's a lot of love here for you. I love you all, beautiful women. I want you to own it. Own it. Become your own best friend. Because you won't then talk to her the way you talk to yourself. I shared today in my group video, you know, they say that if we spoke to women with the same negative self-talk we speak to ourselves, if we spoke to children with the same negative self-talk that we speak to ourselves, people would call the social services. Be easy on yourself. Learn to soothe yourself. Take up any of the practices I've talked about. They work. They work. Take your shoes off. Go step on the grass. You won't believe how good that feels. Connect with the earth. Look up at the sky. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's my rant. Those are my facts. Worry and anxiety can be fixed. They're only thought patterns. I can help you change your thought patterns. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. I love you all. You are beautiful women. Own it. Bye, everybody. This is Chana Gilman, your relationship mastery mentor. Bye-bye.